So we're here at a beehive, and bees are super cool. And there's certain basic facts that everybody needs to know, and I'd say the first one is, how do bees make honey? And a lot of people say it's from pollen, and they do eat pollen and gather it, and you can see it on their back legs. And you'll see like some yellow pollen on that back leg and some more yellow pollen, and you might find some orange coming in here. They're going and getting pollen from the different plants, and that's their protein. It's got more protein than meat, actually, and every vitamin and amino acid and mineral that you need to survive. But they also get nectar, and nectar, if you've ever pulled the back of a honeysuckle off and gotten that little droplet of sweet liquid, that's nectar, and it's mostly water. The bees have a carrying tank before their stomach, and they'll drink up the nectar from a flower and bring it back to the hive, and then they fan the moisture out of it, and when it's around 17% water and 83% sugar, they cap it off, and it's honey, and it's the only food that will never spoil. And it's honey. It's delicious, and depending on where they got the nectar, the honey is going to have a different color, a different taste, and so that's really neat too. And you see, bees don't want to sting you. Most people would think that they'd be stinging, and you don't, because you're near the hive, and they're not like that. I mean, Africanized bees are, but these are not. They're just going about their daily duty, and they collect nectar, they collect pollen, and they might fly, I've heard as far as 12 miles, but by the time they got back, they would have had to swallow some of that nectar into their real stomach, and there wouldn't be much left over. So they try and get nectar from the closest possible source. And so generally within a mile, I'd say, is as far as they'd really want to go. But that's what they're doing, and they're working their little wings off. And toward that end, there's one queen, there's tens of thousands of worker bees, and there's a few hundred drones. The queen is born a worker. She turns into a queen because they feed her royal jelly, and that makes her live 40 times longer. Worker bees, who are all female, only live for 6 weeks, and a queen can live for years. And then the drones are fat and lazy, and they don't do anything but eat honey and pollen. And that's sort of the basics of a beehive.